Hello friends, welcome to our channel Logic Computer Institute. In this section we'll learn about computer generations. Generation in a computer terminology is a change in a technology a computer was being used. Initially, the computer generation terms was used to distinguish between various hardware technologies. But nowadays, generation includes both hardware and software, which together make up an entire computer systems. There are totally 5 computer generations. These are first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generations. These are the fifth generations. Then see the first generations. The period of first generations was 1942 to 1955. The computers of first generation used vacuum tubes as the basic components for memory and circuitry for CPU. These tubes, like electrical bulbs, produce a lot of heat and were prone to frequent fusing of the installations. Therefore, were very expensive and could be afforded only by very large organizations. In these generations, mainly batch processing operating system were used. Punch cards, paper tape, and magnetic tape were used as input and output devices. The computer in this generation used machine code as programming language. This is the vacuum tubes. Then characteristics of first generation computers. First is first generation computer were based on vacuum tubes. Second, the operating system of the first generation computers were very slow. Third, they were very large in size. Fourth, production of the heat was in a large amount in a first generation computers. In machine language was used for programming. And first generation computers difficult to program and use. And some computers of this generation were or example of these first generation computers: ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC, IBM 701, IBM 650. These are the example of first generations. Then see the next second generation. The period of second generation was 1955 to 1964. In these generations, transistors were used that were cheaper, consume less power, more compact in size, more reliable, and faster than the first generation machines made up of vacuum tubes. In these generations, magnetic cores were used as a primary memory and magnetic tape and magnetic disks as a secondary storage devices. In these generations, assembly language and high level programming languages like Fortran, COBOL were used. The computer used batch processing and multi-programming operating system. This is a transistor which is used in a second generation computer. Then characteristics of second generation computer. The transistor were used in place of vacuum tubes. Second generation computers were smaller in comparison with the first generation computers. Third, they were faster in comparison with the first generation computers. Fourth one, they generated less heat and were less prone to failure. Fifth one, they took comparatively less computational time. And six, assembly language was used for programming, and second generation computer was faster input output devices. There are some example of second generation computers: IBM 1620, IBM 7094, CDC 1604, CDC 3600, UNIVAC 1108. Then third generations. The period of third generation was 1964 to 1975. The computer of this third generation use integrated circuits, that is IC, in place of transistors. A single IC has many transistors, resistors, and capacitors along with the associated circuitry. The IC was invented by Jack Kilby. This development made computers smaller in size, reliable, and efficient. In this generation, remote processing, time sharing, multi programming operating system were used. High level languages like Fortran 2nd to Fortran 4, COBOL, Pascal, PL1, Basic, Algol 68 were used during these generations. Then characteristics of third generation computer. IC was used instead of transistor in the third generation computers. Third generation computers were smaller in size and cheaper as compared to second generation computers. They are fast and more reliable. High level languages was developed. Then magnetic core or solid state as a main storage. They were able to reduce computational time and had low maintenance cost. Input output devices become more sophisticated. There are some example of third generations computer: IBM 360 series, Honeywell 6000 series, and PDP, IBM, and TDC. These are some example of third generations computer. Then see the fourth generations. The period of fourth generation was 1975 to 1989. The computer of fourth generation used very large scale integrated circuits, that is VLSI. The VLSI circuits having about 5000 transistors and other circuit elements and their associated circuits on a single chip made it possible to have microcomputers of fourth generations. The fourth generation computers become more powerful, compact, reliable, and affordable. As a result, it gave rise to personal computer resolution. In these generations, time sharing, real time, network, distributed operating system were used. All the high level languages like C, C++, DBase, etc. were used in these generations. So this is a VLSI microprocessor. Then characteristics of fourth generation computer. The fourth generation computer have microprocessor based system. They are the cheapest among all the computer generations. The speed and accuracy and reliability of the computer were improved in the fourth generation computers. Many high level languages were developed in the fourth generation such as COBOL, Fortran, Basic, Pascal, and C language. And network between the system was developed. These are some example of fourth generation computer. Then see the last generation, fifth generations. The period of fifth generation is 1989 to present. In the fifth generations, the VLSI technology become ULSI, that is ultra large scale integration technology, resulting in the production of microprocessor chips having 10 million electronic components. This generation is based on parallel processing hardware and AI, that is artificial intelligence software. AI is an emerging branch in computer science which interprets means and method of making computer think like human beings. All the high level languages like C, C++, and Java, .NET, etc. are used in these generations. Characteristics of fifth generation computers. The fifth generation computer will use super large scale integrated chips, that is ULSI. They will have artificial intelligence. They will be able to recognize image and graphs. The fifth generation computer aims to be able to solve highly complex problems including decision making, logical reasoning. They will be able to use more than one CPU for faster processing speed, and fifth generation computers were intended to work with natural language. There are some examples of fifth generation computers, that is desktop, laptop, Notepad, Ultrabook, and Chromebook. These are the example of fifth generation computers which are used in day-to-day life. So thank you and subscribe our channel Logic Computer Institute for more videos.